Boss Rush Video Game Book Club is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn how to support our family of podcasts, head on over to patreon.com/bossrushmedia to see which tier is right for you. Thanks for your continued support. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Boss Rush Video Game Book Club. It is our second part of our Hogwarts Legacy edition. I am your host, Corey Deering, and alongside me, as always, is the mad pharmacist herself, Stephanie Klimov.
Hello, enchanted to be... No, I was going to come up with something clever, and then it wasn't very clever. Hi!
I should have introduced you as the unicorn herder.
My horn can pierce the sky. Office reference. Keep going.
Also joining us is the man from Scrambled Rambles, Austin Campbell.
What's up, everybody? It's good to be back. Good to be back.
I love when Austin's here. Austin makes
I love
me happy.
being here. I love being here. I wish I could be here more often. I miss you all.
Yes.
Very much.
I know.
We miss you too, dude.
Look, when we finally bring standard definition back, maybe someday, whenever, we're doing heavyweights and we're doing what was the other one we said we were doing? Like Zoolander.
We gotta do Zoolander, Little Giants, maybe the Big Green. You want to do the Big Green?
Yeah.
Sandlot. Just do them all.
Yeah, all the '90s sports flicks.
Yeah.
We also got to do Major League.
Oh yeah. Major League. We can do The Longest Yard. That's not 90s, but we can still do that.
We can still do that. It's fine.
Yeah. We can do all that.
The rewatch.
I've really wanted to do that for a long time. Like just
all right,
all
awesome.
the movies.
We got to plan this out. We'll do it.
Good.
Also
Good.
Joining us from the magical land of the EXPcast is Pat Klein.
Hello.
And also breeder of Graphorns?
Graphorns, unicorns. Either way, I do have a horn, and that can pierce something else.
Oh no! It sounds like After Dark last night. Oh man, how's everybody doing? Everybody good? Everybody finish? Everybody's done with Hogwarts Legacy, the main story at least.
Yeah, I definitely want to do more, and I have had some extra time this week to do like extra stuff post game.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, whew.
You do
some of the best stuff.
You could do remote play on that Steam Deck.
I could, but then I have to buy another copy of Hogwarts Legacy.
No, you can download the PlayStation app on your Steam Deck.
Remote play.
Remote
Okay,
play.
sorry, I misinterpreted what you said.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Or just steal it from the Steam store. Just rob it. Rob the Steam store.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we deserve it. Look at us drinking caffeine at 9:00 at night. It's fine.
Cheers. That's we adults run on caffeine.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Also, I've been running on runny noses and coughing and pink eye and other sicknesses.
Says the guy that doesn't want to talk about it.
I know. It's I just had to get it out there.
Okay.
I'm with you, Corey. I'm just now getting over mine, but I didn't have to deal with the pink eye. I didn't get that far.
Have you ever tried to give a 4-year-old eye drops? It's fun.
No.
It's a good time.
No.
I would rather give an animal eye drops than a child eye drops. Let me tell you.
It's true. It's really true. Oh, God. It's so true. Speaking of animals, where do we want to start? I kind of want to start with the ending, to be honest. Full spoilers from here on out, guys. If you haven't listened to part 1, go listen to part 1. It's available now on free feeds, YouTube. You can also support us on Patreon. Really appreciate that as well for future book clubs. You get all the book clubs 2 weeks early, along with a bunch of other shows and episodes. And check out our new show, which will probably be launching the same week as this. Very excited for that as well. The ending.
I think it makes sense. Why don't we just do like a sentence or two recap of like the story thus far, and I say yes, go with the ending, and then we could just kind of.
Yeah. All right. Who wants to recap the story?
The story.
Pat,
The
you seem
The
like a
whole
good.
entire
You seem like
story.
a good story recapper.
Once upon a time.
No, that's
Long
not
ago in
recapping,
the
that's
world
starting.
of Hogwarts.
Mhm.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Previously on Hogwarts Legacy.
Dun, dun.
That's what I got.
Oh.
Oh,
That's
okay.
I was
Fine. A young magician or a young wizard goes to goes to a magical school after finding out that he has something called ancient magic, an
Ancient
ability
magic.
that few wizards have, and hoping that be able to train this boy in the right path, the professors invite him to Hogwarts, where he learns from teachers and wizards and witches of the old ways about this power.
Mm.
But hot on his trail is a goblin revolutionary named Rock. No, what's his name?
Ranrock.
Ramrock, and his
Rock
human
Ram.
and his human poaching companion Rookwood.
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 Yeah, they messed up
He
there. They should
sounds
not
like a
have made those
malevolent
names.
villain from the 80s, like Skeletor, but with
Just
magic.
like that.
But looks kind of like a younger David Arquette.
Oh, that's a good call, yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
Who are hot on his trail because this boy is the only one that knows where the secrets of the Hogwarts legacy is.
Yes.
Or the Keeper's legacy.
Yeah, keepers. They're
Mhm.
keepers.
You know, I
And
guarantee you this game was like probably called Hogwarts and the Keeper's Legacy, but then they're like, no. We just we gotta drop that out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yep. That makes sense. I mean that
Well,
that makes sense.
there was the part of the game where he's like, "Now this is Hogwarts Legacy." And then
Oh man, I
that's how
love that part. And you know,
they had to put
I
that
did
in
the
there.
Leonardo DiCaprio with the finger pointing and the beer in the
Mhm.
hand. It's like that he said it. He said that's
said
it.
it.
Mhm.
He did say it.
Yeah.
All right, so do we want to start with the ending? I mean like
Oh, wait, sorry, before we get to the ending, but important part just to hey, this is important. This is a book club, okay, where we talk
True.
about video games, okay?
Yes.
What based off what Pat said, you undergo trials from the keepers, and from those trials you receive important memories about a former fifth year student with the same powers you have, except in this case what is that saying? All a good hell is paved with good intentions.
Mhm.
Her father was traumatized by the death of his son, won't speak, and she found a way to kind of steal away or consume or remove emotion, remove pain.
Mhm.
But unfortunately, she kind of gets, I wouldn't say power hungry, but she kind of goes a little overboard with it, crosses the line.
Yeah.
Now,
Mhm. Yeah. So we get to the ending, right?
And
How
you
do we
win the House Cup. The
Yeah.
end.
Did you win the House Cup?
I did win the House Cup.
Mm.
That's the actual ending of the game.
20 points to Gryffindor.
Actually, it was 100 because of one student who exemplified the face of Hogwarts, like the legacy of Hogwarts.
Mm. So
That's how it goes.
How did we feel about the lead up? I mean, first of all, there's literally the Avengers Endgame moment of all the wizards and witches, which was
I actually liked it.
They gotta
I
make
didn't.
it dramatic.
I know. I didn't not like it. It was just like, okay, I feel like everybody's really going for this Avengers Endgame moment right now cuz like as a Destiny fan, like all that's going on right now too is like this big bring everybody together to go fight the guy, you know?
Well,
And
it's an interesting perspective because I really was into Marvel until like after Endgame, like maybe not so much recently,
yeah.
but I didn't think about that at all. Like, and now that you mention, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess kind of. But for me, I'm like, we're these students, but we can only do so much because even though I'm a powerful wizard, we're still
You are the
young.
most powerful wizard in that goddamn
Thank you, honey.
school.
But like, it's still just to see your teachers back you up. I mean, granted. I like the teachers, and I have a crush on one of them, so it's like
Which
whatever.
one? Which one?
Obviously, it's Miss Weasley.
Oh, I was
She's
gonna
more maternal.
say the garlic.
Hot. Heck yeah.
Mm.
She waifu.
She's number 2. No, I
I
go
was-
for
it's
the grumpy old men.
Oh.
Is it the dark arts
Oh,
teacher?
Professor
which I'm-
Fig.
Ah,
No,
yes,
he's
Professor
not
Fig.
grumpy.
Is it
The
the dark arts?
potions master.
Yeah,
his
with
name?
the scar on his face.
He's
Yes.
not an old man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
Aw.
he's mid. He's in the mid 40s.
mid.
Mid.
What's his name, guys? I forget.
I forget.
Sharp.
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 Professor
I
Sharp.
was gonna say
Oh,
it's
I
not
should know
Snape.
that.
Yeah.
Snape, Sharp,
Yeah.
whatever.
I know it was something like Snape. I just couldn't think of it.
No, but you're right. It's Did we already explain what the premise is? Excuse me, how we got to that point?
No. Do you want to explain the premise of this point,
Oh,
Stephanie?
I mean, sure. I mean, the
Great.
bottom line is this final kind of, I don't know what, I forgot what they call it. This collection of power that
The
Ranrock is
repositories.
seeking. Repositories, thank you. And it was
Mhm.
a fancy word. This final repository that contains this ancient magical power that Ranrock wants is actually hidden. Where else but deep underneath Hogwarts itself. So, this entire time, Ranrock's been hitting up places where the keepers used to live. Always seems to be a step ahead. So you try to get to that repository before Ranrock does. Now, I'm pretty sure this is the same experience for everyone, but before we get there, one of the first final bosses, so to speak, is Rockwood.
Rookwood. Wood.
Rookwood.
Rookwood.
So I kind of wanted to tackle Rookwood first because we discover that Rookwood was the guy that actually cursed Anne, Sebastian's sister, and not goblins.
Mhm.
Because he says the key line, which still doesn't make sense to me to this day: children should be seen, not heard, which is super creepy. So that we have that showdown first. What did you guys think of that boss battle?
It felt
hated
like the
it.
boss before the boss, right? I mean, it kind of felt like, okay, yeah, he's like the second in command, so you're definitely gonna have to fight him. I did think it wasn't as challenging as I thought it was gonna be, to be honest. It kind of felt pretty easy, all
Felt
things
like
considered.
a powerful poacher was
Yeah.
really what it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, it just I mean, it was fine. I think he's an interesting kind of, you know, whatever. But I feel like they could have done more with that character, and I don't know. It just
I
ended
agree
on
with
some
you.
sort
He
of
was a very
powerful.
one-dimensional character.
Yeah, I feel like they could have done more with that character, and to like fight him as basically a powerful poacher was kind of like, oh well, okay. I feel like I'm more scared of the big knights from the trials than I am of him.
True. Yeah, because he's like this snivelly, backstabbing, greasy type person. Because I think what initiated that boss battle was things didn't really go well between him and Ranrock in the end. Surprise. So he almost kind of wants to side with you, quote unquote, which we all know that's a load of crap.
Mhm.
And that's how the battle's initiated. Definitely could use a bit more characterization from Rockwood, and I think this might have been the point, but I definitely felt pretty powerful fighting him because you're right, he's just a very powerful poacher. Because in many poacher camps or missions in the camp, there's poacher, ranger, or ashwinder, executioner. There'll actually be a person with a name, so it's kind of like the head honcho of the group. So I felt like, oh, it's the head honcho of this group.
Yep.
I don't remember where we left off in the last episode. If we left off on trial 1 or trial 2.
We ended
Trial
trial
two.
1.
Oh,
did trial 1.
lies, one.
So to me, it was disappointing because trial 3 and trial 4 were so awesome that when you got to this boss fight, which was, I mean, yeah, he was just a bigger, normal guy. But then they just did the classic thing of throwing 50 enemies at you and just saying, "Hey, fight them all in this arena," and that's it.
Yep.
And he
That's your
was
Yeah,
boss
nothing.
very
fight.
indistinguishable from the rest of the enemies too. The
Yeah.
only way you knew you were fighting him was by seeing his name pop up when you were staring at him.
Also,
Yeah.
I don't know if this is true or not, but it seemed to me like the enemies kept coming as long as he was alive. So you just have
Mhm.
to like weed him out. I didn't know if like once I defeated him, it just was done. I still had enemies left, but it just cut off. So I didn't know if that was just the whole thing the whole time.
Yeah. No, that's a good point, Austin, because I died twice, not necessarily because it's hard, but I approached it the wrong way. Because my mentality was get all these small fuckers out of the way and I'll just focus on
Yeah.
Rookwood. But
Yeah.
I realized the second time I died is, oh, these people are just going to keep coming. So my
Yeah.
third try, I focused only on Rockwood, maybe take a couple out as needed. And obviously the battle became very easy because I approached it the right way.
Yeah.
Well,
I also like I think my one kind of complaint over the course of what the 45 hours I put into it, I think it doesn't the game doesn't really do a great job of showing you where the enemies are attacking you from. I
Yeah.
just had a really hard time of like, oh, there's enemies behind me. Why didn't I know that? Usually there's some sort of indicator or if they're about to attack, there should be like sometimes there would be and sometimes there wouldn't be like a blinking arrow or something. I feel like the game didn't do a great job of saying where enemies were. And so like I would be so focused on the enemy I was attacking that like I usually I count on the HUD to tell me, okay, there's something behind me or something to my left or right. And I didn't really know until I was about to get hit, and I didn't really have time to dodge out of the way. And that was kind of my issue too, Stephanie, with Rookwood was like there are a lot of enemies here and I'm focusing on Rookwood, but sometimes I would have to take my focus off of him to fight the enemies, but it would have been easier if I knew the enemies were coming at me.
I might have cheesed that battle, like big time.
Wait, you can cheese the battle?
Oh, there's one spell that all you have to do is hit him with once and he's down.
Oh
Really?
man.
What's that?
Avada Cadaver.
Oh.
Okay, well, yeah.
If you, I mean, it doesn't work on the final boss of Ramrock, but for Rookwood and even Harlow, you smack him with that spell once and you just drain their life.
I
Wow.
can't wait to talk about getting those because I think when I say messed up, I was trying to go with how I'd answer questions. I think I kind of bypassed learning that curse for whatever reason.
Well, I was gonna say that I still missing two of the dark spells because I was just
You
trying
have
to
to
get to
go
the main
through.
story.
Did you
Yeah.
go through Sebastian's story?
I had not
All of them are
finished
on his.
Sebastian's. Okay, so that
Yeah,
was why.
you get all the dark arts or the dark curses from Sebastian.
Which I definitely want to cover, but
Mm-hmm.
sorry, I know I'm kind of pulling the conversation constantly backwards.
No, it's fine. This is what this is for.
But it's only because, Pat, you did mention, or is it Austin? See, I'm all confused now. Mention the trials. I don't necessarily, think of go into all of them in depth, but you guys reminded me we only covered the first trial in the last episode. So maybe can we just do overall? Like, did we have a favorite trial overall?
Number
What did you
3.
The
think of?
third one by
Three.
far
That's
was the coolest one.
the one where
Yeah,
everything is hand drawn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or
The
yeah,
story
Yeah.
of the
quote-unquote
Deathly
hand
yeah,
drawn.
Hollows.
Yeah.
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Yes.
very, very into that one. As soon as it happened, I was like, "Oh my god, this is awesome!"
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, the fight where, I mean, there's a couple fights, but there's one where you're there for an extended amount of time where you fight multiple trolls and like lots and lots of enemies. That was harder for me than the Rookwood fight. I don't know why. I just felt like
Mm-hmm.
because it was,
They
it seemed
Yeah.
limited
to
your
go on forever.
spells. You only had the 4 spells that the game gave you for that
Oh,
battle.
That's
Yeah.
I
true.
think that's
That's
why.
true.
But they gave, to make up for it, you had the Elder Wand.
mm-hmm.
Mm.
So everything was just so much more powerful.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I remember seeing the numbers pop off. Like, man, my character got really strong all of a sudden. And then when I got back to the real world, I was like, oh, it's not that strong.
yeah, I definitely think the trials were more challenging than Rookwood. I actually think the second trial was probably the weakest, in my opinion.
That was also Rookwood's ancestor.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
Mm.
Yeah,
it was weak. I thought too.
yeah.
It's
I
one that I
hated
don't remember.
the thing
Well,
I
hence
remember most was the floating platform where you fought knights and how they would just hit you and you would literally fly off the platform and
Mhm.
die and have to redo the whole damn fight again.
Yeah, the second trial was the one where, like, there was the door in the middle, like the dimension changing
Oh, and
door.
you had like
But
different dimensions or whatever.
yeah, and each knight was in a different dimension, but they could still
Mm.
hit you with their
Yeah.
weapon, which was like
Yeah,
really
that was
awful.
annoying. That was annoying.
But
Yeah, I
Yeah.
felt the structure, though, generally speaking, was similar to the first one. Like, I felt the
mhm,
first two were
Mm.
similar, but just obviously the experience of the first one was probably better. Then the third one just flipped it on its head and was completely different, which I loved. Does
mhm.
anyone want to talk about the fourth? Because I can't remember what the fourth was.
Fourth
I
one
know
was
the.
taming the
Oh,
grab horn.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yes.
that was
Okay.
different. See, I like how they changed it up.
yeah.
Now I have to ask: did you kneel or did you attack?
I kneeled.
You kneel.
You kneel.
Austin.
Or
Austin
you
attacked it.
attacked? Did you attack? No,
No,
I
I
kneeled.
kneeled.
I kneeled.
I
Okay.
kneeled.
Okay, we
Oh,
all kneeled.
okay. We all kneel.
The
We're
game
all good
teaches you
people.
ahead of time with the hippogriff that you show respect, and they
I
will
kind of
in
wanted to
return.
know what would happen if I attacked it, but I was like, I don't. I love this thing. This is my favorite beast.
I imagine it does the exact same result. The only thing is you'd be more it'd be more submissive versus like mutual respect. Is what
Mhm.
I'd imagine.
hmm
Mm.
Yeah.
Imagine taking that and applying it to real life. Like you're on a hike and a bear comes charging at you and be like, well, in Hogwarts Legacy, you just kneel and show it respect, and then you get your face ripped off. Sorry. All right. Sorry, I
What?
just wanted to cover the
No.
trials because they technically are kind of the cornerstones of kind of the game. And there's a correlation between in the going to the map room and then going to that person's either former home or something.
Mhm.
So I do feel like the pacing for that is really nice. I kind of found it funny and comical in a sick way where after killing Rookwood, we went back to the map chamber and I'm like saying out loud to myself like, "Hey, sorry we had to completely obliterate your lineage, dude. I just killed your great 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 grandson."
Yeah.
I'm sure he was cool with it.
Yeah.
He was an
I mean,
asshole. Yeah, it was
yeah, he's a
fine.
bad guy, whatever.
I
And
think probably of those trials, what really got me was the fourth memory, the Baskar's memory. When you
oh, yes.
yeah, like you saw what Stephanie described earlier was the accumulation of a student who tried to eliminate pain. She had to hide these pain, or she had to store these pains in those cauldrons, or the what were they called,
Repositories.
the suppository,
Suppository.
where you
Whoa,
stick it up your
what game are
bum.
you playing?
That is
Whoa.
where you get your true power.
Oh
Sticking it up your
no.
bum.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Repository, yeah. And
Repository.
it was a I almost said Kremlin. Oh my gosh, I'm all over the place. A goblin made silver
hmm
or
Hmm.
metal, whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
But yeah, the end, like you saw the professors try to stop Isabella from becoming a little too power hungry because she was starting to use it on kids, and that
Hmm.
was they Hogwarts teachers had to stop there and be like, no, we protect the kids.
Yeah.
But then, like while they're trying to like stop her from like using the spell, the defensive or Professor Baskar
Hmm.
uses the abracadabra spell on her, and that just like shocked me. I'm like, holy shit!
hmm
Someone that's not a dark wizard,
Yeah.
just pulled that
Hmm.
spell out.
Yeah. That was shocking. I was like, oh my God, did
Mhm.
he really just do that? And I thought he was going to run away. I actually thought you were going to have to go, like, not like look for him, but like I don't like if he like put himself in some sort of containment where he was still alive, or like he had like put himself in some sort of punish whatever. I thought the story was going to get really weird and deep from there, but it didn't.
Yeah.
It's like,
But yeah,
dude, he just used an unforgivable spell, and he's a teacher.
yeah,
Yeah.
But then again, in the movies, Professor Moody used the spell too to demonstrate for the kids.
hmm
hmm
Uh,
So,
so
what do you guys think of Isabella's story? Because on one hand, it does work. Like I can see how someone so desperately wants to take away someone's pain, they'll do whatever it takes, which is oddly similar to Sebastian's story.
yeah.
But then
Mm.
she kind of gets, but like power hungry, I guess. Like I don't know, because
I wonder if that's where what they were trying to do, and I wonder if they just didn't hit it the way that they wanted to. But like comparing one of the characters to this character, because obviously Sebastian is in a very similar situation, right?
yeah,
mhm.
And
I feel like Sebastian would have been her heir that she was trying to get during
mhm,
the whole trifold missions.
yeah,
mhm,
Like that, she said, she didn't have a way to, get like reach out other than, she had to leave clues behind so that someone who's like her would follow in her
mm,
footsteps, and that's
mm,
hmm
what those pictures were.
yeah, yeah. That's and I kind of wish that would have hit a little harder. Again, it's nothing against Avalanche. I think they did an incredible job making this game, but I feel like they could have gone a little extra with some of these side characters, especially Sebastian's story, because he seemed to, besides your character, he seemed to be the focal point of a lot of this game.
yeah. And side note, it my bad. It's Isadora, not Isabella.
Yes, I'm the one who
Mm.
said Isabella.
Uh,
I haven't
that's
played the game in like 3 weeks.
Isadora Morganok, but
hmm
yeah, I feel like there's your main character, your character, and then out of all the professors, it's really Weasley that's the most interactive with you, and
Hmm
Fig, of course. Then you have it's like in twos, two professors, two students. You've got Onai, I think that's her last name,
hmm
hmm
Mhm.
the Gryffindor student, and then Sebastian from Slytherin,
hmm
and then everything is just kind of
Then you had
couple names
Puppy.
here.
hmm
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Poppy was another
Poppy,
one.
Can't
Poppy
forget about
Sweeting.
Poppy.
No,
Yeah,
she's my favorite. I love her.
hmm
I had to fly to the top of a mountain and ask her what she wanted. I was like, why are we all the way out here? Couldn't you have just told me in the bathroom or something?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
But anyway, sorry, I wanted to backtrack to the trials and to
hmm
to Rockwood. But is there anything else in those things that we want to talk about before we talk about our fight with Ranrock?
No, I just to go back to the third trial real quick and just the
Mm,
way it looked and felt in that it I kind of wish some of the other trials would have taken note of this, and maybe they can experiment with this more in the next game, which I'm assuming we're going to get a sequel or another Wizarding World game at this point. I mean
Mm.
the way the game ended, I'm not 100% sure the next game would actually be a sequel.
I mean, we could talk about that later, but I
Yeah.
have theories.
Yeah, I would really like to talk about that at
hmm
some point. But uh I like the change of it felt like refreshing, like 25 hours into the game you're still being introduced to something new and cool and interesting, and to kind of tie it to the movies in a way that didn't feel forced, right? Like the Deathly Hollows are a great way to tie them together without, oh, the guy with the lightning bolt, oh, you can see into the future, look at him with his you know, staircase bed. It's like I really liked it. I really liked the third trial specifically. If you want to be a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/bossrushmedia, and find out which tier is right for you. Our Patreon producers at the $5 tier or higher for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. Thank you for your continued support.
Now I know Pat played the mission for sure. I don't know if Stephanie did, but I feel like one of the best trials was not a trial. It was the shopkeep
PlayStation
mission.
exclusive.
Yeah.
No, I still did not see that mission pop up.
You might try to go back
Did
because
you check to see if you got it downloaded?
Yeah,
I
didn't see
I think
anything.
it's a completely separate thing. Like in
It
the
is.
shop,
I think you have to go into the store and don't you have to redeem a code to download it?
if it's a
That
physical
and-
one, I think you have to redeem a code.
All right, let me just pop this on while you guys are talking.
When I went
Yeah,
on the
open up
first day of
open up your
winter,
case too to make sure you don't have a DLC code.
Yeah. I want to hear about this mission because
Talk about it.
I'm playing on Xbox and I don't have it yet.
I know
So-
you really liked it, Austin. Go ahead.
well, I was gonna say when I went there the first time, because I know you said it was like Christmas winter time. I went there immediately because I was like, that sounds like a great thing to have the shopkeep, have my own shop, and it wasn't there. And I had to do several missions, and then when I went back, it did pop up. So I think you might have to be a certain length or certain way through the game before. So you might check again and see if it's there now if you haven't been there in a while. But it was awesome. It was awesome. It was definitely like it gave me some Control vibes, you know, some.
Oh, really?
Just like it is scary, quote
It's
unquote.
very. If you ever played a Bloober game, so
Yeah.
like Layers of Fear,
The medium?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it seriously felt like one of those games.
Or like Mad Hatter in the Arkham games, like those like really trippy type.
Oh yeah.
That's what it felt like. And
Oh,
I don't
cool.
remember there being that much combat. Like there's some combat, but it's all weird. It's not straight up fighting. It's like all different tricks that this.
Yeah. You had to fight these mannequins that the
mhm.
poltergeist like sent your way in like some of the battles.
Ew.
Naturally.
I mean, not ew, like scary mannequins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it was clearly designed to be a horror experience, and it played with your mind. Like you'd be walking down a hall, maybe the hall would like stretch out further, or maybe you get to the end and all of a sudden there wasn't a door, and then so you would turn around, but all of a sudden there's a wall like right in front of you. Like that's a bloober experience. It's the whole corridor horror where it makes you like lose your mind and you're like literally turning around and the whole like room is changing because you did not see a part. Like as soon as you turn around, something changed in the room, and then when you finally see it again, you see the change. It's all about this poltergeist that's been haunting the store, and he's bored and he wants to play with you, and the only way he knows how, by trying to make you lose your mind.
Wow.
and I won't spoil this part, but there's another piece to that mission that's like pretty crazy. I didn't see it coming. I was like, oh, that's why this is happening. That's
well, you
weird.
guys can spoil it. This is a spoiler cast, so
Yeah. I mean, Stephanie can take her headphones off.
that's fine.
Yeah, talk about the mission. Do it. Do it.
Do it, Austin.
Well, okay, so when you find this mission, you talk to an elf, and she's really she's really cute the way she talks to you because she'll be really excited about what she's talking about, and immediately she'll cover her mouth and gasp because she's fixing to say something she's not supposed to say, and you still don't know why. You don't know why this is a thing, and but she keeps doing it over and over again. But she says basically, if you go talk to this one woman, my master or whatever, then she'll sell you the property, and then it'll be yours, and I'll work for you. So you talk to this lady, and she sells it to you, whatever, blah blah blah. You open up the shop, you repair things, you fix everything up, and you find just this random hole in the ground. And of course, you go down it because you're not a coward, and you're a wizard, and a teen wizard at that. You got to go down there.
Yeah,
And,
the witch asked, you can have the shop, but there's one thing I left in there. It's in this box. Can you go get it for
Yo,
me?
yeah, that's right.
So,
It was in a box. I forgot about that part.
the
So
hole's in a box. It's a magic box.
yeah, you go down there, you mess with this poltergeist and whatever, do all the trials, and eventually comes to find out that this woman has been doing this with everybody. She's been using this poltergeist to scare these people, to get rid of these people. So she just keeps getting money, and I'm assuming the poltergeist ends up killing these people. I don't know if that was
Or
ever
makes
really
them go
fully,
crazy.
or just makes them go crazy. And
Crazy
because
and,
you beat the
like, run away.
poltergeist, yeah, because you beat the poltergeist, you got his respect. He's gonna leave you alone. He's only gonna haunt the store 2 days 2 days every month, and only at
After
nighttime.
9 o'clock.
After 9 o'clock. That's
Mhm.
important. And
Yep.
so you make this deal with him, and then it turns out you talk to the sheriff lady. She's like, wait, so all these people keep keep disappearing, going crazy, and then this woman who sold you the shop, she goes psycho, and she just tries to kill you and the sheriff. It goes wild. This is an old lady. She's about to kill you. It was crazy. I did not expect it. I thought maybe she would get caught. She'd be done. But no. I think that's what her name. She's a sheriff. She's a sheriff something.
Yeah, she's that professor that you keep running into during the poacher mission. Not professor, the police officer you keep. I forget what her name is, but
Onai. The last name is Onai, but the officer Sweeting or something.
No, Sweeting is Poppy.
Oh no, Poppy Sweet, but it involves Poppy.
Oh no, it involves the other one, the Onai. Sweeting
crap.
doesn't have anything with this lady.
Yeah, I'm looking up her name now.
Well, we're doing a Officer Singer.
Singer.
Yeah, there you go.
Singer.
Look at you.
I'm doing a terrible job. I'm sorry. I got distracted though, but I found the code.
Officer.
Sweet. So it is a code.
Definitely do it.
Yeah. So I can't wait to play it later.
Yeah. I was a little disappointed in the shop itself. Like, it does give you more money, but I was kind of hoping I could send stuff magically there instead of having to go there. That's what I was really hoping for. Also,
yeah,
Avalanche, if you're gonna make a game that's got all this equipment and you're trying to make it look like Destiny with everything, everything's trying to be Destiny now.
Even the cursor stuff.
Make a sell all option. Do not make me individually sell everything. It's ridiculous.
Destiny still doesn't have a sell all option.
Dude, this is why Outriders was the best. Because Outriders had a sell
you could mark everything as junk, and then you could sell it all. Or dismantle it all.
Easy.
Or even just select the ones that you want and hit one button to, sell everything you just selected.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even Yakuza does that.
Yeah. Come on.
Awesome.
Come on, everybody.
We should do an Outriders spoiler cast.
Dude, I'm in. I love Outriders. Did you play the DLC, by the way?
No, not yet.
Do you want to play it with me again?
I play it.
I'll play it with you again.
Yeah, at some point I do.
Yeah.
Zelda's coming out, though. That's going to take up a lot of time.
No one plays Zelda.
I do want to play World Slayer.
Who's it? What is
Hey.
That's May and June's book club, by the way. Zelda.
I know I'm not going to be on that one because I won't play it fast enough, and there's probably like 20 people on that list that want to be on that one.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. So, all right. So, where do we want to go next? Do we want to talk about Sebastian's story?
Well, we didn't finish the story, so which direction are we going here? Like Ranrock final fight, or continue the favorite side quests, or talk about Sebastian? There's 3 paths. Choose wisely, or I don't care.
Yeah, we can do Ranrock. He turns into a dragon. Pretty dope.
Oh yeah, forgot the ending.
It was a little like when I say unusual, not in a critical way. I was just like, oh, he's a dragon now. But I would definitely.
See, me as someone who's played a lot of RPGs, it's like, really, a dragon? That's your final form?
He should have been like a cow, a giant cow, and just.
I can understand the dragon, though.
Everyone.
Like, if you were to like use your magic and toss around a little person, that might be offensive to some people.
Oh, that's a good point.
Well, I
It's like,
mean, you
oh,
do
look at the
that.
big wizard pushing around the little guy.
Yeah, but you do
Let's make
that
the little
all
guy into a
game.
dragon.
You do that all game though. The whole game is
Yeah.
almost that.
Yeah.
I love throwing those little goblins off a
Yeah,
cliff.
that
Just like
the alt.
Expelio or whatever. The Pulso.
Yeah,
Just
the
I
pulse
can't.
though.
shoot
You
'em
just
right
hit him off the
off.
cliff, and
Mhm.
then you have your ultimate move where you're just banging him on the floor or on the ground
Yes.
multiple
Yeah.
times. So like, Jesus.
Yeah. I just I don't I didn't really care for the whole he turns into a dragon thing. Like I understand they have to like do something because it's a video game, but it was a very Joker took the drugs from
Yeah,
Arkham Asylum
yeah.
moment
The
where like
Titan. Yeah.
The
yeah this is
Venom.
this
Or,
is like a little unbelievable. But and also like he turned into the like the dragon was like the material of the wand and like the design of the wand too. I
Oh
don't know if you
yeah.
noticed that or not,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like just this dragon skeleton type thing going on, and I don't know, it was
Mm,
fine. It didn't really do it for me though, to be honest.
are you talking about the one that you created?
No, doesn't Ranrock have a wand and he says I can't wait to test this out?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Miriam's wand,
some
yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Miriam. Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, I
And
didn't know. I didn't realize that was the wand that he turned into.
yeah, it looks like that wand. At least am I mixing wands up?
That,
Not so.
I think it's that wand because he's like I can't wait to
Mhm.
test this out or whatever, and then he like does the magic and then he goes into the thing and comes out a dragon.
I didn't know that had any ties to the wand, though.
It just looked like the wand to me, and
Oh
he
wait, didn't it also have to do with the actual ancient magic in that
mm-hmm,
reporitory?
mm-hmm,
Didn't he
yeah,
like
That
Yeah, he
that for
absorbs the
just
sure.
magic, and that's why he turned into the dragon.
yeah, yeah. I just thought it was yeah.
You just thought the wand gave. It was because he was holding the wand that he turned into the dragon.
No, I just no. I'm just saying the dragon he turned into looked like the wand he was holding.
hmm.
Not that he turned himself into the dragon with the wand.
And
Oh,
are you talking about
all
like
right,
when
all
he
right.
like has that hard case on him?
What'd you say, Austin?
Are you talking about when he has like that hard case on him that you have to like you have to use different spells in order to break it off, and then you can start actually hitting him? I'm trying to see if he.
I don't know because the dragon is white. Isn't his wand white, or am I just like kind of misremembering?
The
Anyways,
one
it doesn't matter. Let's
you. Yeah.
let's talk about the
Yeah.
battle. Like, how do we feel about that final battle with Ranrock?
You
Good,
mean yeah,
but it was long.
yeah.
Like the fact that his shield was only down for a very quick moment before he
Yeah.
puts it right back up again was kind of annoying.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then
yeah, I kind of
especially
agree.
when you, I hated cycling spells. I like the idea of it, but there's so many spells to keep track of, and I always
Plus,
forgot where. I'm so lazy when I play that I'm so.
plus, like, plus, like, I think they're expecting you to have different sets of spells on each part of the D-pad, and you're gonna like you have to use more than 4 spells, right? And so, like, I feel like you have to like have your power layout mapped out before you go in there and like really okay. I'm gonna lift him up off the ground, and then I'm gonna pound him with some fire, and then I'm gonna switch over to the other set and like freeze him and do all these other things. And it's like I don't, you know, it's a cool idea, but I don't know. In theory, I don't think the game is fast enough or responsive enough to do that in a way, or like the enemy design is really designed to make you work that hard,
Mm.
you know. So
What did
I mean, it was. I thought the second half was better. I got worried after you only got like half his life bar and you're on the bottom, and it just seemed like it took you almost like 15 minutes to get that much, and then you
Yeah.
still had a half of it's like this is gonna take forever. But finally, he gets down on the ground, and you can
Mhm.
pummel him a little easier.
Does anyone have, and it could just be a me thing, did anyone have any issues, and it could be with any battle when you're swarmed with enemies, like with where you're locked onto? Because
All
I
the
have
time.
to aim at a certain like red bubble or yellow bubble or purple bubble, and he's also hurling attacks at me. And I have to like turn my character to get to make sure I hit the right thing. And it could just be me, but I struggle sometimes with where I lock on. I end up hitting the wrong thing.
No, that game had a horrible lock on. I thought, like,
Yeah. I think I preferred eyeballing it than actually aiming. Like the aiming,
Yeah.
like I said the last time, I would have actually preferred the left trigger to be the option that you pick your face button spells with, and then just have
Mhm.
the right trigger be your basic spell. I think that would have made it a lot easier to kind of wrap my mind around, because there were times where I was still hitting specific buttons to do the spell, and I would forget to hold down right trigger, or I would press right bumper, or it's just I would press a different button that was not the right button, and it just kind of,
Yeah.
I never fully somehow wrapped my head around the combat. Even though it was pretty simple, the combat was pretty simple to understand. It's just like when I
Yeah.
was in the throes of it, I was like hitting the wrong buttons on accident. I was like, oh my gosh, I wish this was different.
Mhm. Okay, so I'm glad it's
I,
not just me. Cause
I actually
oh, go
can't even
ahead.
think of what L2 does. I don't even remember.
It's
I don't
the
remember.
aim down sights equivalent.
Oh yeah, that's like useless.
Yeah.
That's totally useless.
mhm.
It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
useless. I used it. I don't think I used it after the first like hour because it was so
Yeah.
useless.
Mhm.
Hmm.
But I kept hitting that to bring up the face button spells, and it never did it because I'm an idiot.
Oh. Mhm.
Hopefully that's something they pick up on, that people won't, like, I'm sure they see the data. Maybe people don't even use the aim down sights and they'll just get rid of it
Yeah.
next game or whatever they do.
Yeah.
Now, it could be different in this final boss versus others, but since we're talking about fighting, like, did you guys have a particular methodology or combat style with how you arrange the D-pads? Like, I try to be diverse. Like, I'd have two of the red offense spells, like with the I almost said bombastic, but the bombardo, um, and then something confringo,
Hmm.
the one with the fire, and then I'd have maybe Levioso, and then the one where you slam the enemy down. So I've got red,
Mhm.
yellow,
Hmm.
purple. Then the second D-pad set would also have the other two red offense spells. Eventually, I put Crucio in there.
Hmm.
And then, like, my fourth D-pad was like all the random stuff, like feeding my animals and brushing them. So I would toggle between two D-pad sets with two red offense spells, a yellow and a purple, not to kind of simplify it. Like I'd have the freezing spell on one of them.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So how about you guys?
There were some combos mixed up, like you said, the spell that levitates and then the spell that slams down.
Mhm.
I also tended to have Accio and Depulso in the same wheel too. The
Mhm.
pull and pick, then throw them.
Mhm.
Um, and then usually there's some red. I had a red spell at least on all the wheels, whether it be the Fireball or the Expelliarmus.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Did you
Hmm.
guys utilize it potions or plants in your battles?
The final battle, yes.
Eh.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I was barely doing damage on the final battle, and I was like, "Is there a potion that helps?" And yeah, the maximum potion. I was like, "I haven't used a
Hmm.
single one of these all game. I'm gonna use them
Mhm.
all now." And just
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's like this is what you save your potions for. You may have like 99 potions that you don't use the entire game because you're going to need them for that final battle.
yeah. The
Oh
only
yeah,
That's a
potion I
I
would
true
run down is
RPG
Wig and
mechanic.
Weld. I would
yes,
just,
those go fast, man.
and then I
Yeah.
would freak out, use them sometimes. I'd be like, "Oh wait, I
Mhm.
shouldn't have used them because my health isn't that low." But then I would take a huge hit, and I'm like, "Oh no, 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 it's bad."
Yeah. I found myself using a lot of the the maximum the potion just to do extra damage. I also found myself chugging the green potion like it was my job because apparently I suck at parrying and dodging.
Yep. I know, like the pairing makes sense, right? Because then you send something back. But I just because I maybe my reaction is not good enough because there's the yellow parrying attack and the red that you can't parry. So
Mhm.
I've just defaulted to constantly rolling out
Mhm.
of the way. I'm
I,
always
s-
rolling.
I see you go the Dark Souls method.
Yeah.
Yes.
Keep rolling.
Although I do like the unlock with the dodge where you kind of like in Destiny terms you blink, like you just kind of
Yeah.
disappear and appear in a different spot, kind of.
You know what? I've tried. I noticed the game locks on you when you still do that. Like I teleported away from a troll when he's like doing a slam down, and all of a
Mhm.
sudden he's like literally like teleporting with me.
Mhm.
Like you
Oh.
see him slam,
Mhm.
and he's not moving his feet, but somehow like he jumps across the entire room to hit you.
Yeah. I don't
I actually unlocked that talent blast. I think that might have been my last talent I unlocked for the final battle. Like was
Oh,
just
really?
that. I was like, I haven't even used that. Yeah.
I did it pretty early just because like I'm like I suck at dodging. I should probably get a better dodge. Maybe it'll make me better at dodging, but it
Do you
didn't.
remember under what category talent that was?
The stealth was it the stealth category? I don't
No,
remember.
that one
I
was
think it's
under
just basic.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Okay.
the
The
one in the
core,
middle.
the core
Yeah.
Kind of
one.
has the wand. Yeah,
core
Yeah,
core.
one.
Thank you.
yeah.
I'm gonna check that out. But yeah, the plants seemed cool, but I just felt like it didn't really help me. Sometimes the mandrakes could kind of like
Hmm.
distract people for a little bit, but like,
Yeah.
I
The mandrakes were nice when you got crowded.
yeah.
I
yeah,
Because then
used
I
it just
also used the I used the cabbages like it was my job
yeah.
because
Cabbages are
I
fun.
unlocked
Mhm.
the one where if you throw one it spawns two, and
Mhm.
so I would
Mhm.
throw like three of them out at a time. It was
You got
just
an
like
army of 6.
yeah, it was awesome. I
I
also
used the
used like
mandrakes on the Rookwood fight. That was the main one I
Rookwood.
used that for because I was sick of all these people attacking me, and so I used the
oh yeah,
mandrake just so I could focus on him.
yeah.
Hmm.
I also used the shoot the tree looking thing.
Oh, the
Yeah, the
Yeah, the
venomous
poison spitter.
sphere.
venomous. Yeah, I also used that quite a bit when I was like, I felt like I was in like an area where I couldn't move around a lot, and I kind of wanted to funnel the enemies towards me. I would like throw one over here, and then throw some cabbages to the right, and then they would come chase me or whatever, and then they would. That was
Sounds like a true Hufflepuff.
yeah, that's what I
Hmm.
am. True Hufflepuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hufflepuff unite. But
yeah.
All right,
Um.
well, let's.
So, do we want to delve into Sebastian's story at all?
Yes, we do want to delve into that. That was like one of the best like stories out of all the characters.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, do you guys want to leave that? I didn't really, I didn't finish it because like, I'm gonna be honest. After that second trial, I kept dicking around with some side stuff, and I just kept trying to go around doing the side stuff, and then about a week ago, I was like, I gotta just put my nose down
yeah,
and do the main story quest, and I didn't end up finishing Sebastian's, but
I think
I
I'm
I'm
got
going
near
to
the
though.
end, but I would like to discuss it for sure because I do think it's a pretty powerful
Hmm.
leg of the game.
So you
And
none of you guys have finished Sebastian's story.
well, I
no.
mean, we'll find out like if I quote unquote finished it or not because I couldn't tell if there was going to be more. Like I thought it was done, and then it just kept going. So
Did
Go
you
with it, Pat.
you finished the stuff in the crypt though? The big
yes,
showdown in the crypt. Okay,
yes,
so that
Yeah,
won't be a spoiler for you then.
no.
No.
Yeah, because that moment was like the holy shit moment.
Hmm.
Uh, so let's kind of start with the Sebastian. Sebastian has a goal of trying to cure the curse that was placed on his sister one night when they were
Hmm.
exploring. He always thought that it was a goblin that cursed her, and that there was no way to break this curse. Everyone says that there's no way to break this curse. His uncle, who was an ex-Auror, adamantly says, "Stop trying to, look down these dark arts. There's no way to break
Hmm.
this curse." His best friend, who's family comes from dark wizards is like,
Mhm.
you want nothing to do with this. But Sebastian continued to pursue that knowing the dark arts would help him find a cure for his sister.
Mhm.
And his suspicions were, I guess, confirmed when he found a tome from
Salazar
Salazar
Slytherin.
Slytherin. Yeah.
Yep.
Which, did you guys see the note in his room that kind of cements that Salazar was an asshole?
Yes. Yep.
It's like, there's a note that ties into the Chamber of Secrets about how the rest of the professors are like adamant that no, this school should be for all wizards, regardless of whether they're pureblood or not. So Salazar purposely left the basilisk so that it could grow up and kill off any non-pure blood
I
later on.
know. I'm like, you suck.
Mm. Nice callback to the Chamber of Secrets too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do a lot of callbacks to the main Harry Potter series in a very clever way where if you're not familiar with it, you don't feel like you're missing out. It just sounds like a cool plot point. But then if you are familiar with it, you're like, oh snap.
It's like, wow. So that's the whole reason why he had it. Not that it was
Yeah.
a pet that got loose or something. He
Hmm.
purposely had it there to kill off any kid that was not pureblood.
Yeah.
That's sick. But
Hmm.
before we get to like the real meat and potatoes, how have you been kind of playing it so far? Because and we'll find out, right, if it really truly influences anything.
Hmm.
But up until a certain point, I really did side and support Sebastian as much as possible. I was like, well, I guess if I was in his shoes. So Ominous at first was very displeased with me,
Hmm.
um, and I was trying to appease as many people as possible. But for the most part, I supported Sebastian, supported through learning the first two unforgivable curses. So I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, I kind of played both sides of the fence too, where I was like to Sebastian, "Oh yeah, no, they totally don't understand you. You're doing the right thing." And
Hmm.
then when I had the other guy aside, I'm like, "Yeah, I understand. He's kind of going a little crazy here, but maybe I can just keep an eye on him, and
Mhm.
it'll be all right." And so everyone's like, "Fine," but like both sides. But then you finally get to the Sebastian gets this artifact that he believes will cure Anne of her curse, and he goes into the tomb where he tries to get his sister to this catacomb where you find it, because that's where you can use it. And he's experimenting with it, and he can actually raise the Infuri and control them, which is something that it's hard enough just to create them, but to be able to control them is something truly dark. So
Hmm.
everyone's like, no, no, this is enough. This is too much dark
Cross
shit
the
for
line.
me.
Mm.
Yes. And his Sebastian's uncle gets told what Sebastian's doing, so he comes into the tomb to try and stop him. Granted, Sebastian, the uncle, shoots or starts shooting using magic on Sebastian, which in turn makes Sebastian, defend himself. And the uncle obviously thinks you're a friend of Sebastian and will support Sebastian anyway. So
And
the
turns
uncle,
into a freaking boss fight.
yeah,
Mm.
the uncle attacks you too. So
Ca-
not, you got all this in fury,
Isn't that
surrounding
crazy?
you.
Oh,
Mm.
Yeah.
so
How did you
nuts.
feel about that? Because I actually felt very uncomfortable fighting the uncle. Like I really didn't want to. I'm like, do I have to? Like I feel
Right.
like it's not right.
Right. I did too.
It's another
I
Last of Us 2 situation.
it would have been
Yeah.
cool if there was like a dialogue kind of tree where like you could have picked your conversations and maybe talked your way out of it.
I think the uncle thought you were in the same boat
Right.
though as
Yeah.
Sebastian. Like, you've gone too far, and you're using unforgivable dark magic, and he being an ex-or is like, I gotta stop this.
Yeah.
Um, so the fight continues on until you finally manage to, like, I forget if you disarm the uncle or you're in like a power lock with the uncle, and then Sebastian decides to end the fight by casting Abracadabra on his uncle, killing him. and that's was like the what the fuck moment.
Yeah.
Like that is like you just killed your family.
Yeah.
And the
That
fact that
was
Sebastian still was defending it, he's like, he attacked us. You saw that, right? You know, this was
This
the
is
only
the
way.
only thing I can do. Yeah, I'm like,
Uh-huh.
uh,
Of course, I played both sides of the fence again. I'm like, oh yeah, no, I totally saw that. He attacked first. You know, you did what was right. He's like, you know, and you had an option of like, I had to use that, or he's like, I had to use that spell. It's like, you know, and you had an option of no one should ever have to, or no one should ever use those spells, or like, can you
everyone
teach me
know
that?
how to.
yeah.
So is that where you learn it? Because I think because I said no one should ever know about this curse, I
hmm
was wondering if I missed that opportunity to learn it.
I think he did because I'm like,
No.
yeah, no, you're totally right, Sebastian. By the way, can you teach me this? Is oh yeah, here. This is how you do it, you know. And so I learned
We must
abracadabra.
never use this again. Also, can you teach me how to use it so I don't know how to learn it, how to use it later?
Well, see, this is the part where it was tough for me because I had a feeling if I responded yes, everyone should know about this curse, that I would get to learn it because I just want to use it for gameplay purposes because I feel like a badass. But I'm like, at that point, I had enough of Sebastian. I was scared of Sebastian. I'm like, no, no, no,
Mhm.
no, no, no one should ever learn the curse. And then after I selected it, I'm like, oh, I'll never learn that.
Yeah. You
Damn
know
it.
what? That's one of the things about this game is that they don't pursue the fact that if you learn like dark magic, like people don't alienate you. You know, like
Yeah.
I used it in front of Poppy, and she's like, "Oh, someone's not afraid of the dark arts." It's like, did you just encourage me to keep using this shit?
Wait, quick question
I,
about the dark arts. So Crucio, I
Mhm.
like. The second one, the name is I'm blanking on. It's the one where you can
Imperio or
Imperio.
Imperius.
I know the definition is you control someone, but how does it actually work in battle? Because usually in battle it's so crazy I can never like watch and see what actually happens.
You
Does that
shoot
and
you shoot someone, they get green eyes, and they act as your ally for a
oh,
small
okay.
time. So they will attack the enemies also.
Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't help because my lock on feature will just keep sending spells to that particular enemy. But anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
after
then
that, oh sorry, Pat. Keep
oh no, I
going.
was gonna say abracadabra. You know, it is a one kill, hit kill spell, so it is best used on things like trolls and bosses, except for Ramrock, who was completely immune to every single curse. So that was pointless.
Yeah.
But
It's that
it worked
goblin
great
magic.
against Harlow and Rookwood
Yeah.
and trolls. My gosh, I just taking down a troll in one hit, made those
so
battles
Nice.
fun.
just so much nicer.
The charge on that though has to be a long time though,
It
right?
is a fucking long time. That thing's probably like 4 times longer than any of other spell the cooldown.
Yeah.
So
That's
you
fair.
really can only use it once, or if you use it in the beginning of the battle, you probably will maybe get to use it again at the end.
Yeah.
There was a
But
there was a
yeah,
talent. Did you ever unlock, Pat, the talent that like if you use your basic wand, it reduces the cooldowns?
I don't know if I put talent in that.
There was
Maybe
a
I did.
talent where I'm pretty sure every time you use the basic one, it would reduce the cooldowns of all your others. And I was like, why didn't I do this way sooner?
Mm.
This is way
Mhm.
better.
Yeah.
Hmm.
To go back to Sebastian's story, though, that didn't end there, because then once you get back to school, and is absolutely disgusted with her brother and kind of runs away.
Mhm.
Like, I can't deal with this anymore. Nothing's gonna cure me. And
Mhm.
Omnis is like, what do we do? I don't want to lose my best friend, but he just fucking killed his uncle.
Yeah, it's
And
like
so that's where I like secretly like, dude, we need to turn him in.
Mhm.
But then, when I'm talking to Sebastian, I'm like, bro, I got your back, okay? Everything's gonna be fine. And it's great because Sebastian's like, whatever happens, I'm glad to know you're, my best friend or
He knows
yeah.
that
my
Ominous
friend.
is the snitch. He knows Ominous is the snitch anyway. Out of the two.
I was gonna say, so Pat, did you recommend to Ominous to turn him in?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
And so in the end, he gets expelled and is awaiting trial in Azkaban.
So is that it? Because I wasn't sure. That's where I ended today, and I wasn't sure if I would be missing
Yeah.
beyond that.
By then you get the little trophy for that one, and
Okay. Oh,
that says that you concluded that story.
so sad. Because if you think like how old Sebastian is, to imagine putting someone like that in Azkaban. Like I know he killed his family, but still, it's like Azkaban. Ooh, that's no regular prison.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
might have thought differently, but the fact that he continued to, like he didn't see what he did was wrong, and that he will still go at any length to protect and try and cure his sister, even though she wanted nothing to do with him anymore. It's
Yeah.
Mhm.
like,
No. Yeah.
okay, now
Yeah.
you've officially gone from being doting brother to absolutely creepy fanatic.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
got to get locked up
Yeah.
for your own safety
I
and
just felt
everyone else.
sad because in the beginning of the game, I'm like, wow, a Slytherin that won't spiral into a bad guy. I was wrong.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the thing. He wasn't like a lot of these characters. I like the fact that the bad guys aren't necessarily bad.
Yeah.
Right,
Like
yeah.
even Ramrock, like his whole reason it was goblin like ideology, like the fact that the goblins were being enslaved and persecuted and like restricted of like using magical abilities, and
Mhm.
also the fact that they think if something's made with goblin stuff, it officially is goblin. You know,
Mhm.
Mhm.
so he truly believed that the depositories were goblins because they were made with goblin silver,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and so
No,
he
no,
wanted them
totally
back.
fair. I just I'm like, couldn't it have been a Gryffindor that spiraled? Why did it have to
Yeah.
be Slytherin that spiraled?
Mhm.
You know why? Slytherin
Mhm.
don't get a break. They don't get a break.
Yeah.
Now, do we think he's going to be a villain in future game?
Do we want to get into the like a future game now? I mean, we are kind of running at that probably end around an hour and a half if we do that. Do we want to
If
talk
we
about?
if we do, can we just quickly touch base
Yes.
on maybe just like a favorite mission, unless it's already been named or whatever? Favorite, just any favorite side things. Like I'll start.
Ooh.
Like I also like Poppy Sweeting's like side quests. I just found that a lot of fun.
I was going to say the Phoenix mission was one of my favorites, and we lost
Oh
Pat.
right, Deke and the Phoenix, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really liked
Catching the
that
Phoenix
mission
was
too.
cool.
I actually really liked that mission a lot.
Hmm.
I loved finding it. Just
Yeah.
majestic Phoenix. I was like, aw, we're
Yeah.
going to bring him
Yeah.
home. Bring him home.
Bring him home. Bring the Phoenix home. Hi, Pat. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome. I don't think you can hear us.
No, I think he's still figuring it out. Well, while he's figuring that out, Corey, do you have like a favorite kind of either side mission or just?
I
Sorry.
mean, I don't really have like a favorite side mission. I I I really liked actually going out and doing the missions for the spells and like learning like it was a nice way of teaching you how to use the side stuff without actually like tutorializing it,
Here you
right?
go. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then you got new spells out of the process, which was really cool. I really liked that. I also really liked trying to find find the Merlin challenges, which were like I got obsessed for a while after the second trial of looking for all of them because I thought maybe like the winter setting, which by the way, the changing of the seasons was a
Mm,
really cool idea to kind of separate the story throughout a school year.
Hmm.
yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, not that like they really needed to do that, but the fact that they did that was a really really nice touch.
Yeah.
Um, so I really enjoyed that, and I also really liked it, not really a side mission, it was more of like a main mission, but saving the hippogriff.
Mm.
That mission was
Hmm.
super cool because it had like a nice mix of like stealth and puzzle solving and battles, and then one of the enemies tried to use one of the forbidden curses on you, and it was cool. And yeah,
Oh right. Yeah.
Hmm.
yeah, that was
The
super cool.
underground dragon fighting ring was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, dang, it's a giant cockfight.
Hmm.
But the cocks aren't chickens; they're
Yeah,
dragons.
they're giant dragons.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm,
Pat,
yeah.
was there anything that you particularly liked, like side quests or otherwise?
I got addicted to breeding. Mostly because all those like the little
Yeah, he
little
did.
creatures that you pick were so like derpy looking. You know,
They
they were cute.
are. You know what?
Yeah.
Ever since you talked about breeding, I started, and like a baby hippogriff, I'm like, oh, you're funky looking.
Yeah, that one was ugly. I'm like, ew. You need some feathers on you, bro.
Yeah.
But you had things like this little tiny baby Niffler was adorable. The what you call the little fur balls?
Puffskin.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
puffskins.
Puffskein. Puffskin.
Like
Yeah.
the babies have droopy eyes. The mooncalves have way too big eyes.
Yeah.
The I the the Kniezel, the cat,
Mhm.
the little baby one has a little palm on its tail. Like
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
flat face. It's so fucking adorable. Uh even the baby Graphorn was kind of cute.
What's y'all's favorite beast? Because mine is the Graphorn. The Graphorn's my favorite.
Hmm.
The Graphorn was cool. I really like the hippogriffs, even from the movies. I do. So I got the deluxe edition, and if you get the deluxe edition, you get the black one, like the onyx
Mhm.
one,
Mhm.
and that looks like when the moon is shining bright, and you have like the performance and ray tracing mode on. It looks really cool. Like that.
Hmm.
It looks really good.
I mean, I'm a little partial to the Kneazles because they're cat-like, but
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
How many cats did you pet in the game, Stephanie? Like how many cats did you pet?
Honestly, only like 3 or 4 in the beginning, and then I just stopped
I
because
thought
I
you were
don't
gonna
know.
say
I
3 or
pet like
400.
40. And sometimes it was on accident. I was trying to start a mission and then I just press square, and then all of a sudden I'm in a cutscene petting a cat, and I'm like,
Well,
that's not
that's
what
the
I
thing. You
wanted.
just get a cutscene, and then that's it. So I think that's the reason why I stopped. Unlike another game, which I recently played, where you can not only pet a cat, but you can be the cat. You can put the cat in your backpack. Like there's
Mm.
more than one like interaction you could have with a cat, and I think that was kind of it. But
Mhm.
I like, what's the creatures that you see when you witness death?
Oh,
The Thestrals.
Mhm.
Thestrals.
yeah.
They actually were cool. Like it's adorable, this scary looking thing, and when you brush them, one of them like goes on its side and its back, and it's so happy. So I like the Thestrals.
I love the baby Thestral because that's the one you have to breed for the
Oh
mission.
right.
And I did do that
Yeah.
one, and yeah, I
I
love the
with
baby
Steph,
Thestral.
I would probably say the Kneazles
So
were,
you're so hideous.
one of my favorite. They were adorably ugly. They were pugly.
Mm.
hmm
Yeah.
But in terms of, I also really liked the Nifflers. And I loved when you
Mm.
brushed the Nifflers, and if they were really enjoying it, they'd go on their back, but all of a sudden you'd start brushing out treasure from their fur.
Mm.
Yeah,
Sometimes
that
I
was
brush
fun.
Avery, my cat, and yeah, you never know what's gonna come out of there.
Oh,
Never know.
and I would be remiss if I didn't say I also like the Phoenix.
Oh
Oh yeah,
yes,
the
for sure.
Phoenix. The
Yeah.
Phoenix is a
I wish
step
I could have bred the
above.
Phoenix, but there's only one Phoenix in the game.
It's a shame.
I
Rip
know.
Phoenix.
Maybe something to look forward to in the sequel. Breeding
Well, yeah. So
Phoenixes.
speaking of, so yeah, let's talk possible future state or theories or thoughts.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, sorry.
We did not touch on Fig's
Oh
funeral
yeah, Fix
slash
death.
eulogy weird
Oh,
The
thing.
pretty
eulogy
big.
was
Sorry.
so funny. I was laughing at the eulogy. I was laughing.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny.
It was
They're like,
interesting.
Simon Pegg, man.
Oh, what a
uh,
yeah.
thank God
That
Weasley
was
took over.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
I
by the
felt
way,
like
how did y'all feel about the potion mission where you actually get to be him?
that was
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
with
always
that was a good
awesome.
one.
the warts the
The-
potion for the warts.
Yeah.
In fact, I have a
Boils, yeah.
I have no shame about letting everyone know I have butt boils.
Yes.
Oh,
And then like commanding all the banners be your house banners.
mhm.
And the fact that it happened was amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. It was cool. I'm glad that
Oh,
they let you do something like that.
now I feel bad for not even acknowledging Fig's death, because obviously that was a really big thing, and he was kind of, he was your mentor, and he was kind of there all along the way, and you know,
His death for me felt incredibly unnecessary. I felt like they killed him off
oh,
just
Oh, we
to
lost him
kill him
again.
oh
off.
no. And right at a critical point too, he's like, it felt
Yeah.
incredibly,
Yeah.
Pat,
It felt
incredibly what?
it felt incredibly unnecessary. Like they
Mhm.
killed him off just to kill him off. Like they knock him off the
Yeah.
cliff and he comes back and he helps you contain or he helps you like eliminate the rest of the negative emotion and then he just dies. It's like
Yeah.
why? You had him come back. You might like he didn't necessarily need to die.
I
Yeah.
agree.
There's no
It felt like a
real
cheap death.
yeah.
Trying to
Yeah.
pull at your strings.
Yeah.
It
If
didn't
they should
work.
have just killed him when he fell off the cliff,
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
But I suppose it, get that moment of he has officially achieved his life work and figuring out what happened to Miriam and was united with her wand again.
yeah.
Mhm.
But it's still
Also, he could always come back in a painting, obviously. So
that is
Yeah.
true.
he'll still
Maybe
be
that'll
giving
be in
you
the
paintings.
second game as well.
Oh my gosh,
Maybe.
that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was that ending, and then there's actually a true ending where if you get to level 34, you unlock the final mission of the game, and that's just
Yeah, I haven't
simply
got to that.
yeah, that one's just simply you winning the house cup
Mm.
Nice.
because you
Neat.
exemplified what Hogwarts means. So your
Yes.
house gets 100 points.
Great.
Nice.
Basically, I saved the world. You owe me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here's your house cup.
Do you actually do anything with your OWLs? Like, do you get to kind of get a hint at what you'd be good at or something? Because that would have been cool.
Nope.
Yeah.
Basically, you kind of like that one mission with Professor Weasley where she mentioned some of the things you did throughout the
Yeah.
game. Like she
Yeah.
mentioned how I had an affinity for beasts because I captured an elusive unicorn,
Mm.
or
Mhm.
and I knew that was like that was a side thing that I just randomly did.
Mhm.
And she'll comment like how on your progress with your field guide,
Mhm.
and just maybe some other things that you did. But then she'll it's cutscenes, and then you get your final mission, get the house cup.
Okay.
Mm.
I don't know. It would have been cool if she'd be like, "Oh, based on what you've been doing, you would make an excellent or an excellent, I don't know,
Yeah.
Quidditch
Mhm.
player." I don't know.
I wonder, like, and I know we're gonna get into like a sequel in a minute, but I think it would be really awesome to play as maybe like an aura or something outside of the school. Although I know that being at the school and being a student is like the whole kind of fantasy about the wizarding world, right? Is to go to Hogwarts
Mhm.
and learn and stuff. But I thought it'd be cool to like, what if you're an aura and you're working for the Ministry of Magic, and like there's like this corrupt scheme going on, and you find out about it, and you're kind of trying to solve it while you're doing side missions and stuff. I don't know. I thought that'd be cool. But
Mhm.
anyways, sequel. Pat, you said you had theories.
I have theories. I felt that the game itself concluded its story. Like they got rid of the magic, so there's no reason for the keeper's legacy to exist anymore. There's no reason for you to be a keeper.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so my theory is if they wanted to continue on with your student, they have to dive deeper into the ancient magic because throughout the game, all you know is that you have it, and like very, very select wizards have it, but they never actually explain what the hell the ancient magic is. Like, what's its
Mm.
origin? What is it actually capable of? Like, they
Mm-hmm.
would have to go something in that direction.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of, because I mean, yeah, because like, what would you do without the ancient magic. You couldn't really like do the equivalent of trials or anything. My theory is that like if they do a sequel, you're gonna be like there's something more to the ancient magic than people are willing to let on, and like maybe you find that out as like the Triwizard Tournament was something that I had thought about for a while, and
Mhm.
maybe you go back to Hogwarts for a little bit, but you go to another school and you explore that land, and that land happens to be like the where the origins of the ancient magic happen,
Mhm.
right? And like you spend your 6th year at this school doing, and instead of the trials, you do the the things that they do in the or switch it up, whatever. Like
Mhm.
I think that's an easy way to replace the trials, and that would
Mm.
give you another uh place to see in this world, because we've never explored outside of Hogwarts really, except for like the Fantastic Beasts movies a little bit, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
No,
So that's what I would like to see from a sequel, is visit another school, do the Triwizard Tournament, maybe
Mhm.
Quidditch returns.
Yep.
I don't know.
No, I agree with you
Yeah,
there. Like, I would love to visit another location.
Hmm. Yeah.
I think you have
We
to as well because the best part about this game was was like some of the best part was the explorability, and now
hmm
that
Mhm.
you've explored most of it, and pretty
hmm
much all of it, you're gonna be looking
yeah.
for
Yeah,
something else.
there's only so much you can do with Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not opposed to return to Hogwarts. I just think it
Mhm.
would be a really cool idea to like go somewhere else. Let's go to the dancing girl school where they all wear the blue outfits and dance and throw birds out of their fists, and
Mhm.
or
Or
like
go
Yeah, I
to
want to go where Natsai Onai in Uganda. Like, I want to go to that school.
That
yeah,
is
that
The
apparently
wizarding
the
school.
biggest wizarding school,
Yeah,
yeah,
according to
Ouagadougou.
her.
yeah.
Yeah.
That I mean that's a theory that I've seen floating around online too, is that we would go somewhere like that
Mhm.
too.
plus you wouldn't have to use a wand. You could start dual wielding. Maybe that'd be cool.
Oh,
Start
Dual
dual
and
wielding
wielding.
becoming an
magic.
animagus.
Yes.
Yeah,
That would be cool.
Mhm.
Learn Patronus as well.
Yep.
Hmm. Yeah.
I That would be the other thing. Like, if they wanted to maybe just take it to a different direction where you explore things that haven't been really touched upon,
Yeah.
hmm
put the game in
Hmm.
Azkaban.
Well, you
Oh,
go to Azkaban if you're a
Ooh.
Hufflepuff.
Yeah, but that's like a very small portion. I'm saying like Azkaban in the wizarding world, the wizards did not create Azkaban; they found it,
Yeah.
Mm.
and it has all these deep, mysterious properties behind, like deep and dark, mysterious properties behind it. No one really knows what Azkaban is. They just knew it was a good place to put their prisoners.
Hmm.
you could
That's
play as
brilliant, Pat.
Sebastian and try to break out.
Mm-hmm.
Try to
Oh.
break out of
Yeah.
Azkaban.
DLC. DLC.
That ain't happening. They said they're
Yeah.
done with the
I
story.
know. I know. Corey, try to get someone from Avalanche to come on.
I'm already trying.
Okay.
Be like,
Uh
listen, here's our pitch.
yeah. I
Set the game in the African school, but have it that you can like teleport over to Azkaban. You're trying to understand the secrets. So you got
Mm.
the African outworld in school, but then you also have the Azkaban prison.
yeah.
Done deal. That's free advice, Avalanche.
Yeah, won't even be
You can have that
charged.
for free.
We could call it
But
Azkaban's legacy.
oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. That would be I mean that would be really cool. Maybe you do that and then you run away and go to a different school. I don't know, with
Mhm.
Sebastian.
So when they said that they're totally done with this game, they ruled out DLC, but it's not like they fully ruled out a sequel, right?
Mm-mm.
That would be
Mm,
completely stupid.
Yeah, I would be shocked if they didn't make some sort of Wizarding World game after
Mm.
this, whether it's a sequel or a new game set
Otherwise,
and
yeah.
a thing.
Gotcha.
Uh,
Mm.
I I mean this game has sold almost 20 million units at this point, right? So I mean
Wow.
that's
And that's before the PS4 and Switch versions come out.
right. Man, I'm
But
still
do you
Man.
wondering
think
how this game's gonna run on Switch. It's gonna be
do
an
you think they would try their hand at another IP, like bring another IP forward since they've
Man, I don't know. They've done so well with this IP. I don't know how they would change IP on the fly. And I mean, look, Warner Brothers is seeing all kinds of dollars raining down, right? So they're going to be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, you don't have to make another Harry Potter game, but if you don't, you should go work somewhere else."
Plus, I have a feeling with their future game that's coming out, I don't know. Rumors got delayed, but they might be like wanting a sure hit for sure
hmm
that
Yeah.
they can
Yeah.
then screw up with, online or with live service.
hmm Yeah.
Next Hogwarts Legacy with live service. I'd be so mad. I'd be so
It's like,
mad.
all these wonderful accessories you got in the game, now you can earn them with a battle pass.
Yeah. Great.
Hear me
We'll
out. Hear
call
me
them
out.
report
Hogwarts
cards,
Legacy.
though.
The other thing I thought about, do you think they would add some sort of multiplayer to the next one? Because that would also be some sort of like drop in, drop out co-op kind of thing. I could also see them doing that. Not that I want them to, but I could totally see them
Mm.
doing that.
It's
Hey,
possible. But
yeah,
yeah, I wouldn't want it, but it's possible.
yeah.
If they do that, I would want the game to go to Rockstar. And I would want
Mm,
them to actually make an online game. Maybe not
okay.
Rockstar, but someone that has success in creating an amazing online world.
Did you not play Disney Infinity, the online sensation?
I might have
Avalanche made
passed
that
that one.
game. I have them all. They're all up there.
Wow.
I have Stitch. That's the only one I bought. I wanted Stitch more than
Mm.
anything.
I even have the Toys R Us exclusive crystal ones, and they're all still in the box.
Oh wow.
I
Yeah.
can't tell if
Anyways,
you're a Disney fan or
yes,
you're Disney. Okay.
Yes.
I was waiting for the or.
No, I wasn't sure if it was something like maybe you were Disney because of your family, or I didn't realize that, you yourself were the Disney fan. I mean, that's
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, we grew up Disney people, but
Hmm.
also I do like Disney a lot. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
Disney Dreamlight Valley.
don't
Mhm.
get me started on Disney Dreamlight Valley. Where's that book club at?
Dude,
I
Corey,
I would
you're gonna
love to
get me
play that
started on
game.
it.
I just need to see more. Like, I need more.
Hmm.
More than what they have.
Speaking of Disney Dreamlight Valley, Disney Speedstorm, the free-to-play Mario Kart clone, coming on April 18th. Founders pack, $30.
Yeah.
Let's
Listen,
go.
once I saw Gameloft, I was out. I've
Gameloft did
played
Disney
enough.
Dreamlight Valley too. So
Really?
yeah,
I just remember playing Gameloft games on my iPod back in the day. And it was just like,
hmm Disney
yeah,
Dreamlight Valley is pretty decent for a Gameloft game. I would actually argue it's their best game. But also Disney Speedstorm, it looks legit. It looks
is it gonna be
legit.
the
Battle
next
passes all around
Racing?
though.
Hmm.
Is that what it's gonna
So
be? The next Crash Team Racing?
I mean, it might be. I don't know.
Hmm. Hmm.
Anyways, any final thoughts on Hogwarts Legacy before we wrap it up? I mean, I really enjoyed my time with it. This is probably my favorite game in years, to be honest. I'm not I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan, but I do like the world, and I do like the lore of the world, and spending time in it made me like the world even more. I had a few issues with it. I would probably give it like mid eights would probably be my final score, but that doesn't deter from like how much fun I had being in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the more I have discourse with you guys, kind of helps me clear off my rose-colored glasses. Not to start talking down Hogwarts Legacy, but if
Oh
I looked
boy,
at it
here we go.
objectively, no, I probably would give it mid to high eights myself
Mhm.
versus like a 10. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what the kind of talking down I mean, because there's certain story elements that I felt were a bit weak, or
Mhm.
could be better, like fleshing out some of those more one-dimensional characters. Everything else is great. Like there's so much. I'm only at like 60% complete now.
Yeah.
Um as far as I am. So again, lots of passion and love and attention were put into this game. So much to do, a lot of fun. And yeah, so just like a lot of the critiques, they're minor. It's still one of the best games that I've played this year.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, again, I would say they would need to polish the combat, and
Mhm.
the game did feel like it was starting to wear its welcome towards the end. In my case, like the missions all started blending in to feel like the same thing, especially the side missions. And the dungeons also started getting a little more on the boring side.
Mhm.
But overall, though, I would say like it was an amazing, first start at the series. I
Mhm.
absolutely loved the spirit that they, infused in this game. Like it really did make me feel like I was part of the wizarding world, which I
Yes.
appreciate. I loved I loved all the little nuances and like nods to the series. Graphically beautiful, music fantastic. Like overall, this was for me it was either a high 8 or a 9.
Mhm.
Just
Mm.
that combat made
Yeah.
it not as fun as it could be.
Mhm.
Hmm. I definitely am same area with you guys. I definitely think an 8 for me overall. I would just say Avalanche. Don't go the way of Ubisoft. Don't be afraid to slim that stuff down because I feel like there's just a lot of the Merlin trials and all and the random
Mhm.
dungeons that are just you opening the door and then walking in, grabbing a random chest that doesn't mean anything really
Mhm.
in the scheme
Mhm.
of things. Like that kind of stuff. Like I went from like, oh, I'm gonna explore this whole world to being like, okay, I really only want to explore Hogwarts now, and then just get to the missions, and I don't even
Mhm.
care
Mhm.
about the open world at all. Once I saw the train station and Hogsmeade and all this stuff, like I'm like, all right, I'm good. I don't even when when you get to the third kind of lower hat, like lower bottom part of the map, I didn't
Yeah.
even care. I don't even
Mhm.
care what's out there. Like I felt
Well,
so
at
bad
first I
too.
was excited about it, but when you mention like the rewards you get, it's 99.9% like clothing
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm like,
And
I
it's
don't
or
usually
care.
lower than what you have already, and it's like,
Yeah.
well,
yeah.
Hmm.
like what did I do this for?
Yeah, so if the rewards were more varied or cooler, maybe I might have been enticed to
Hmm.
keep maintain my interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
yeah, just slim it down. Take some fat off there. You don't need
Mhm.
all
Yeah.
that much.
Yeah. I also am with Austin where like I feel like instead of like a 60 to 70 hour experience to 100% this game, they could have really done something special
Tight.
if they slimmed it down to like a tight 30 to 35 hour
Mhm.
100% completion and like a
Hmm.
maybe like a 20 hour like 18 to 20 hour main campaign, because like what like the meat that's there is good to great, right? I mean, the story kind of falls off towards the end, kind of like, okay, this is kind of, even for Harry Potter, this is kind of over the top a little bit, right? But like
Hmm.
what's there is really good, and the conversations you have with the students, like the school feels like it's lived in. Hogsmeade feels like a real town. Like
Mhm.
even the
Hmm.
outskirt towns, you know,
There's nothing more
closer.
cozier than Hogsmeade.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh
Off
god.
on another adventure.
Yeah,
It
the
seems
both
like
of those
all
lines.
roads
Lead
leads
to
to Hogsmeade.
Hogsmeade.
um I mean, there's just a lot of cool, really real characters there that like don't really serve any purpose except to feel like the world is lived in and it works.
Mhm.
Sometimes you get into games and they like, it kind of reminds me of Horizon in that way, where like, oh well, this character doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but it feels like a real person that lives in this town that they're just
Yeah.
trying to run
Yeah.
their business, they're just trying to do the things in this town that normal people would do, that aren't off trying to save the world, and it I really liked that, and like the relationships with the goblins felt real, right? And even that kind of mainline quest after the second trial really kind of hits home too, where like, oh well, you know that goblin, you find out like the goblins are brothers, and they end up
Lord Gok,
Yeah.
yeah,
rest in
Log Gok,
peace.
yeah. Yeah, man.
Which,
gets
by the
slammed
way,
into
shout
a
out to
rock
him.
pretty
He
hard.
was a great character. Long
Yeah.
ago.
Mhm.
Awesome
I
character.
wasn't giving the book to him. I was giving it to you.
Yeah. Uh, and all the teachers felt like really like they were meaningful, and it just felt like a really great lived in world
Mm.
to the point where like, yeah, I could run around this world for 50 hours, but the 100% everything and do everything probably could have been really tightened up, and it would have made the game better.
Yeah.
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 But overall, I'm not going to
Now,
complain. I thought it was an excellent, especially like coming from a studio like Avalanche, who like, we've said it on the last episode, but like, again, Disney Infinity and Cars 3 and, a couple other smaller titles to make this massive hit of a game. It's just,
Exactly.
they're a studio you want to root for now going,
Yeah.
and it's like, man, I hope like this feels like an Assassin's Creed moment where like the first one was like good, the next one could be great, so
Mhm.
here's hoping.
Mm.
So yeah, any final thoughts before we wrap it up and get out of here?
No, I just think this was a great first book club. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, we should
Yeah.
probably
Very much
announce our
great.
next book club, huh? Our next book club is going to be the Resident Evil 4 remake. That'll be one episode.
Ooh.
That'll be April's book club. So yeah, this is going to be the first time I actually play through Resident Evil 4. I've tried to play the GameCube version several times, and it just pass.
Views have come out today, and they are freaking phenomenal
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
They said they took everything that they did with Resident Evil, like just the impression that they gave with Resident Evil 2,
Mhm.
and then it's like, you think, oh, this is what a perfect remake should be, and now they're like, no, that's just a stepping stone to what 4 is.
Right.
Dang. I can't wait.
Yeah. Also, I want to say that after Zelda, we're gonna open up suggestions for book club games. We will hit on major titles when they come out or when we feel like we need to hit on them, but we do also want to take listener suggestions. So if you have any suggestions to do for book club, especially over the summer months or like a December January type time frame, let us know what you want to hear, and we will come back with a listener voted book club. We may even put a poll on Patreon if you want to head on over there. It'll be free for everyone. But
That'd be great. I mean, 2023 is a banger of a year, but it doesn't have to be AAA. Like if there's like a indie title that piques your interest, we can make one episode out of it.
Yeah,
Everybody
I really want to
make Corey play Danganronpa. Play it. Make
Oh,
him play it.
man.
Make him play it. Everybody vote for Danganronpa. Make Corey play it. It'd be great.
Danganronpa is freaking awesome. I highly recommend it, guys.
It's on Game Pass still, I think.
It's worth
Monokuma
it.
is one of the best villains of all time.
He's a scary bear.
Yes, he is.
100%. 100%. Monokuma is the homie. He's crazy. He's a psycho.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to get out of here. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to this video game book club. I hope you liked this setup. If you have any suggestions, leave a comment on the YouTube channel or tweet at us or join the Discord. Let us know. This was really fun, guys. I hope this group can do another book club in the future. Stephanie and I will be probably finding a couple other people to do the Resident Evil one with, unless you guys want to do that one. I don't care, but
I mean,
Pat,
I'm not against it.
Yep.
We're gonna start with you. Where can we find you?
You can find me on the EXPcast, which is a part of the Boss Rush Network, a network of video game podcasters, content creators, and many, many more.
Yes.
Check us out on bossrush.net.
Got these bad boys hanging out here too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Taking them with me. Austin, where can we find you?
You all can find me at PlaceAustin on Twitter, and then you can listen to my comedy podcast. I'm going to just say it's that Scrambled Rambles on Spotify.
Yes, do it.
Do it.
You can find me and Stephanie on the Boss Rush podcast. You can find all of our shows on bossrush.net, and as well as our content, our reviews, and all that stuff. Leave us a 5-star rating or review wherever you listen to this. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening. And until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
The Boss Rush podcast is a product of Boss Rush Media, LLC, and is recorded from our headquarters in Akron, Ohio. This show is produced, written, and directed by me, Corey Dierig. My co-hosts are Stephanie Klimov, LaRon Dawkins, and Edward Varnell. You can find Stephanie at Klimov_author on Twitter and Instagram, as well as on the EXPcast. You can find LaRon at Exodus803 on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube, and also on Crossroads, the video game podcast. You can find Edward at ThatRetroCode on Twitter and Instagram, as well as hosting Nintendo Power Block. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at IamCoreyInHD, and find me hosting Tower Casuals, the Destiny podcast, and co-hosting Nintendo Power Block. Find the Boss Rush podcast on all social media platforms at Boss Rush Podcast. You can also follow Boss Rush Media and Boss Rush Network on all major social media platforms. Join the Boss Rush Network Discord and Facebook groups to interact with other friends and fans. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.